Hello everyone, this is JNC and I'm here with
Yugioh. I just got top 32 at YCS Anaheim, going completely undefeated in Swiss, 11-0 with Sky Striker Maliss. I'd like to do some shout outs. So shout out to, of course, JNC, all of our sponsors, Dual Guard, etc. Shout out to Enzo behind the camera, everybody who I tested with, and Proposal Cord and other cords. Especially shout out to Pac, we built the deck together. Shout out to Grayson, etc., everybody who just showed me support and helped me build the deck. Also shout out to Triff, who knocked me out, but he was one of the original inspirations for this type of approach, so we're wishing him luck in the rest of Top Cut. But here's the deck.
Alright, let's get into it.
Alright, so for the Maliss monsters, we played 3 copies of Dormouse, 3 copies of White Rabbit, and 3 copies of Cheshire Cat, Chessy Cat. So we just maxed out on all the names because we went for a Lore of Darkness, and the deck is just not consistent enough at the moment to play less copies of the names. Then for the rest of the Maliss portion of the deck, played 3 copies of Maliss and Underground, 1 copy of Terraforming, and 1 copy of Goldsark. So a lot of people are cutting Terraforming because it's kind of redundant with Maliss and Underground, because you're able to search the card with Red Ransom. But again, at the moment, the deck is just not consistent enough to not max out on ways to get the Dormouse. Even if you open up a way to play plus Underground, it makes a lot of your combos better because you just skip the Red Ransom step and you just go straight into White Binder. And then Goldsark is just God card. Hopefully it goes to multiple on the next ban list, which should be out in a couple of hours. Then for the rest of the deck, we have the rest of the monsters, which we decided to play 3 copies of Bishtos, so 1 Mag, 2 Druids. These cards are really good. They're just the best extender to have next to a Maliss monster. They just get you the farthest, help you play through Nib. And Drill Storm is like a fake detonator out, because you can like crash into a guy and then like send if they already used their cross. The cards were great. They just they perform well. Then for like the 2 Cybers Funovs, as Pac likes to call them, Dotscaper, you have to play this one. This is like the main thing you're summoning off of Red Ransom. It's good. Obviously you don't want to draw it, it's a brick. But even when you draw it, it does like little combos by itself. It doesn't get you the engine, but it plays. And then Code of Soul. Code of Soul is like a card that we're sending off a Firewall Dragon. And if you draw, it's just a generic Cybers extender. The card was fine. I probably played again. I sent it a lot off of Terahertz. So yeah, so that's it for the engine part of the deck, monster-wise. Then for the spice that we decided to play this weekend, we decided to play 3 copies of Engage, 1 copy of Hornet Drone, and 1 copy of Will Anchor. So this was the sub-engine that we decided to play. Some people played Castira cards, some people just went pure, some people played more Bishos, but this was the Triff-inspired part, and this was amazing. I think this is definitely the way to play the deck going forward, at least until we get the new Ignister support. Engage is a detonator out in itself, being able to search a Widow Anchor, and then going first, it gives you 2 bodies with Hornet Drone, so it allows you to get to a Link 3 immediately. One of the issues I was finding with this deck was sometimes when you went first, you were losing games, and that was very uncomfortable for me, because I'm like, we're playing this go first combo deck and we're losing games when we go first. And I figured out that the reason why we were losing when we were going first is because we would have to use a Link 2 to bridge into our Link 3, and instead of just going straight into a Link 3. And the only times you were able to go straight into a Link 3 is when you opened a Bishop. So this is just another engine that allows you to skip the Link 2 bridge part of your combo, have your Lizard, and just go straight into Link 3, and that allows you to play through the most hand traps. So that's it for the Striker engine. Then we played a board breaker approach in order to complement the Striker engine and what we wanted to do in order to try to beat Rizel. So we played 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, 3 copies of Book of Eclipse, 1 copy of Tactics. The 1 copy of Tactics is just for siding patterns, 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, and the God card, 3 copies of Dimensional Shifter. So this was our non-engine. It was amazing throughout the day. We just wanted to have the highest win rate against Rizel game 1 as possible, while playing Shifter in order to cover every other matchup that we were basically sacrificing in order to have a better Rizel matchup. And I went 11-1 in games against Rizel this weekend until Top Cut. Obviously I lost to Rizel Fiendsmith, but I didn't lose against a single Rizel in Swiss because of this non-engine, and I think it was amazing and a correct call for this event. And then the last 3 cards in the deck are 1 TB11, 1 06, and 1 M7. Just you have to play all 3. I know some people were talking about cutting this card just for these or playing multiple TB11. I don't think it's necessary. I think the traps are bricks. They're not cards you necessarily want to draw, but you use all 3 of them. Use these 2 on your first turn, and you use this one on the opponent's turn. And under shifter, you're usually grabbing this one. And when you want to play around nib, you're usually grabbing this one early, and then your white binder is setting this one afterwards. There's like some technical play things. I'll make a video on it in the future that you can do with this deck and some cool outplays. So that's it for the main deck, 40 cards. Then for the extra deck, played 1 copy of Kagari for the Striker engine, 1 Link Spider. This card is amazing, mandatory. It helps you play through Nibiru. You need it. 1 Link Decoder and 1 Link Garibo. So we played 4 Link 1s. Then for our Link 2s, played SP Little Knight, Haggard Lizard, and Splash Mage Standard. Some people are cutting SP. I wasn't playing it for a while, but I put it back in and I summoned it a lot. It definitely comes up in order to allow you to extend without wasting your Splash Mage. You usually want to keep your Splash Mage to play through Nib after they nib you with the Link Spider. Then for the Link 3s, played 1 copy of Red Ransom, 1 copy of White Binder, and 1 copy of Heart of Cryptor. Amazing. You have to play all 3. All 3 come up. Wouldn't change anything about that. Then for the Link 4s, 1 copy of Access Code and 1 copy of Firewall Dragon. Some people are cutting Access Code Talker for other cards. I don't really know what you would play instead of it. This card helps you bait OTKs and force Nibiru, because what you'll end up doing a lot is you'll go Red Ransom plus a body into Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker banish Red Ransom to like start popping cards, summon back the Ransom. And if you use Dormouse, that's game on board. So you go Battle Phase, they nib you. You turn the Nibiru token into Link Spider, then you go Underground off of the Red Ransom, and then you go Splash Mage and just extend and kill them again with Cryptor. So that's it for the Link 4s. Then the last Link is Dark Fluid. This is the boss monster. You want to end on this every time. You can end on this through multiple hand traps. One game I played against Tenpai, I was able to end on Dark Fluid through Nibiru, Valor, Imperm. It was actually crazy, and this card just carries a lot. And then the 2 targets are 1 copy of Saber and 1 copy of Aggregator. In a perfect world, you play Pack Bit over Aggregator. I was never sending Aggregator off of the Firewall. However, because of the card in the side, we are forced to play Aggregator. So as for the side deck, for the mirror match, we sided 6 cards, 3 copies of Lancia and 3 copies of Impulse. So we really didn't want to have to side Lancia. We just didn't feel like the deck was good. We just didn't feel like the deck would be represented enough to warrant a card specifically for it. However, because of the non-engine that we were playing, we weren't playing hand traps. It was basically like if we play against the mirror match, we are going to auto lose, because like we expected 99% of the people to just play Lancia just based on the OCG. So if we play against a mirror match and our non-engine is bad, even if we win the dice roll, pull side, they'll be playing Lancia and we won't. So we'll just have like a huge disadvantage. So we decided to play Lancia for that reason. And then 3 copies of Impulse, broken against the mirror, good against decks like Yugioh and Fire King. We just wanted some type of coverage to take out for some of the board breakers in the main that weren't good. Then more Rizal hate. 3 copies of Ultimate Slayer. So we side these cards in going second against Rizal, and we take out the shifters because we just value this more than shifter. 3 copies of Thrust, 1 copy of Call by the Grave. This is the Go First package along with either 1 Barrier or 1 DDG. We side in these 7 cards these 8 cards going second against Rizal. We side in the Barrier going second against Rizal because what ends up happening is you don't need to kill them, because a lot of the times post side they're doing Dugar's combos to try to dig for Lancia, and even if they hit the Lancia, what your game plan is just to try to break their board or soften their board and then set barriers so they can't OTK you on the crackback, and then you win on the crackback because you just have all your resources. And then we wanted Thrust to be good against the generic matchup, so we decided 1 copy of DDG for decks like Fire Kings and everything else. So that was it. I'm really happy about my results. Wish I could have went further, but it was a great event all around. Thank you, and see you in the next.